same place, same plant, so you're definitely guaranteed, say, quality and integrity of your information. And you see that we're generating 49 terabytes of telematics data on a monthly basis. Just a little bit of a survey that was carried out recently by the Geotab sales and marketing team, that it doesn't matter what size fleet you have, you can be generating some benefit from putting in a telematics measuring system. Currently, from the survey that they did, the fleets using GPS only, just finding where the vehicle is, where it's been, and how it's moving around. Average fleet size is around 7 vehicles. Fleets using one of the two benefits of the systems, say safety or fuel telematics data, average of 24 vehicles. Fleets using safety and fuel telematics, average of 41 vehicles in a fleet. Those are some of the smaller clients that Geotab approached with this survey. Obviously, they're not talking to the enterprise fleets in America like your UPS, Rollins Hawkins, which is, they've got, UPS has got about 65,000 vehicles, Rollins Hawkins got 10,000 vehicles. So you can see some of the major fleets in America are currently using Geotab devices. The basic Go6 platform, you can just, all it reads is, will give you journey management, engine management, software integration, the exact tracking algorithm, so you can see where your vehicles are on an accurate basis. And it's a plug-and-play device, so you don't have to cut into any wires when you're doing the installation. It's just a plug into your OBD and it runs. The IOX platform, which is the expandable one where we put on these little expander cables. That's also like the journey management, driver management, engine management, and that allows for hardware integration, as I said, for your Garmin, your Iridium devices, temperature controls, and things like that. Basically, what it does, it makes your vehicle a hub for information. And the more units or integrations that you add onto that unit, the more data you can get and read the performance of your vehicle. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you should be able to pick up through an integration or through another device. You should be able to pick up and manage your fleets better and more efficient. The IOX expander, some of the examples that we've got for driver identification. We give them a tag so you can see which driver is driving the vehicle at any one time. The serial port for analog data, so that's an open-close facility. So, So if you put in any of the devices, you can add up to 4 devices on one serial port there, and that could be your temperature control, tire pressures. Or we got 4-wire auxiliary, which you can put on a door indicator where your doors, see if the door's opening, the door closing. Ajmal also mentioned you can see if the driver deviates from his route. One of the things we did in South Africa, or we looked at in South Africa for a client, was she was losing a lot of clothing. She was a distributor of clothing to the major chain stores, and she was losing a lot of clothing between her warehouse and the dealer where the goods were being delivered to. What we wanted to do, we looked at, was putting on a door switch, so as soon as that door was opened outside of the zone, she was immediately notified, and she could send a dispatch team, a security team, to go and see what was going on. And that seemed to, we didn't get the unit involved, but once the drivers heard that, all of a sudden they stopped deviating, and it sounded like they've stopped stealing their clothing as well. We've got the Garmin and the Iridium integrations, which help track the vehicle. Okay, we've also got hardware integrations, not our own integrations, but people have come to us and asked us if they could include their products in the offering through a Geotab device. So Garmin is one of them, axle and weight load distribution, so you can see if your vehicles are being loaded properly, make sure that they obviously for safety of the driver, if loads shift during a road trip, they could turn the vehicle into a little bit of a more dangerous vehicle when it goes around the corners too fast. Diesel Guard is our latest offering on, it's a nozzle that we install in diesel tanks, or I suppose it could be petrol tanks as well, depending on the type of fuel that's used. And it's got a switch on it which sends a signal to the Geotab device, which can let you know when your vehicle is, in most cases, stopped outside of a zone where you know it's going to fill up with fuel. So if it stops along the road and they try and steal the fuel, you'll get a warning and you can put preventative measures in to stop that. There's a reefer temperature, where we put sensors inside other containers or trucks, and you can see what your temperatures should be at any one time. So if there's any dispute with your clients that maybe he's saying that the food or whatever was being delivered was ruined because it went out of temperature, you can prove to him that either it was or it wasn't. Tire pressure monitor is and temperature for vehicle safety, so you can see if your drivers are driving unsafe vehicles. Mobileye, which is a anti-collision device. A lot of the upmarket cars in Europe are now coming out with this as a standard installation on the cars at the OEM level. So, with Mobileye, we've got an after-sales device which we can install as well, so you can see if your vehicles are traveling too close, harsh braking. If there's, and also if there's anything that could have been prevented through proper driver training. We've also got a lot of integrations through the SDK, like the first three route management companies who manage fleets for companies on a consultancy basis. They've managed to integrate into our system using their own in-house developed systems. Also fuel cards. If you're using a fuel card system on your vehicles to measure your fuel usage, we can integrate that into, or we can write a report which will pull that information into Checkmate and give you a report on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever the requirement is to show you what your actual fuel consumption is. Most engine management systems use algorithms. This system will use your exact fuel usage and kilometers usage picked up from the GPS system. The CRM system, we've developed something we've got into partnership with someone who developed a CRM system. So when your drivers are driving their vehicles, before they get into a vehicle, we all know that when we did our licenses, you were supposed to do a vehicle check before you got into the car. Make sure this is happening, that your drivers are checking all the lights, the brakes, everything like that. It takes a bit of time, but it's sometimes worth it. And then proprietary integrations, a lot of outside people coming with ideas, put them into, trying to get them into our software system for management purposes. This was, we just want to let you know, Geotab is a leading global provider of premium quality end-to-end telematics technology. We're not a basic unit where you just sort of see what your car is. We're actually not offering you a telematics device. We're actually offering you a solution which is backed up by quality software. And the biggest challenge in anybody's industry is, as I say, managing their fleets to a maximum. And if you're not using facilities like ours, you are missing something. If you look onto, I'll give you the Geotab website, geotab.com. If you look at it, there's some case studies there where companies, the bigger companies in America, have actually realized some huge savings, and they are definitely a benefit to those companies. And basically one of the companies that did it, they realized not only were they having efficiency savings, they were also having changing attitude from their drivers now that they know they were being monitored and rewarded if they were improving on their driving. And then yes, we've signed up with ICL because our business objectives are aligned. We've been looking for a company to team up with, who we feel can take our business offerings to a new level in Mauritius. And we're pleased to be here in this situation with ICL, and hopefully you guys are going to get the benefit from this as well. Thank you.